Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
We're live.
Good to go?
Good to go. We're live. Yep. A little crazy today.
A little crazy today. A little crazy. Boy, so hard when we can't see through the Zoom. We can't see the open. But everybody, it's been a 12 hours of, it's been the best of times. It's been the worst of times. And hopefully it's the best of times over a 24-hour span twice and the worst of times only once. This is the Voice of Land, your Big Play Browns post-game show. But mainly we're just going to talk Guardians. And this is probably going to be the fastest Voice of the Land show ever, being only 30 minutes today. We're taking it right up to first pitch. Guardians taking on the Yankees, game 4 at Progressive Field. They are up 2-1 after an epic finish last night in a good way. Today, what an epic collapse by the Cleveland Browns. And I guess since we are the Browns post-game show, we should start with the Browns. Of course, being the Big Play Browns post-game show, we are also brought to you by Vector Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. And of course, partner with LPV Productions. Make sure you follow Voice of Land and Big Play over all social media sites. I am joined by Always Positive Jay, who is somewhere in his house, and Audio, our producer extraordinaire, or known as Peter Tellep. That is what his humanoid name is, but what Jarvis was to Iron Man, Audio is to the Voice of Land. He is also somewhere in the AI system, the whatever you want to call the simulation that we have going on in this world right now.
Just pushing buttons, trying to make stuff work.
Well, if you're an AI system, can you really push buttons?
Virtual buttons.
There it is. But Jay, we're not going to spend very much time in this first segment on the Browns, but we need to, because we made a commitment and we're going to honor that commitment. We never said how long that commitment would last each show, but we are going to honor that commitment. Boy, oh boy. Every good thing going on in the city, this team just continues to find new ways to bring Sundays to an all new low. I know we talked about how we weren't going to let them ruin our Sundays, but they just know how to, I kind of tweeted it out. They're an absolute joke. And yes, jokes are supposed to be funny.
So I replied back to you. I was like, you're right, but usually jokes make me laugh and they're, bring you happiness. They don't bring me any happiness whatsoever.
And there's going to be a lot of jokes made about them. And that's when
that's why I call them straight garbage today. That's what they are. They're straight garbage right now.
I mean,
Browns fans deserve so much better than that.
You lost 3 in a row. It wasn't even a contest today. Bill Belichick came in and absolutely had another masterclass coaching expertise against Kevin Stefanski, who continues to not take points when he needs to, continues to make poor decisions when it comes time to using timeouts, all those kinds of things.
He has the quarterback that they traded for right now, and they don't. That's what's driving me nuts. Why? Yeah, dude, how many times are we going to watch this dude put no one in the backfield on first down against Bill Belichick? Like, you're literally telling him half of what you're going to do gone. So it's like, all right, he's obviously going to pass because there's no one in the backfield. When you have the best running back in the game, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm off that. I'm done with that dude right now. Like, I ain't got his back no more. Sorry, coach.
Going into those kind of games, you already know Belichick's going to take away what you do best. So he's going to try to take away the run game. So guess what? If you are an offensive genius, an offensive innovator, like everybody thought that this guy was going to be, then you should be able to come up with new ways to make sure that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt have an impact on the game, to then open up the passing game a little bit more. And you're not getting a prayer of a touchdown to score.
Even if you just put him on the field in the backfield, they have to honor the fact that he might give it to him. When he's not back there, you're like, well, now let's just get to coverage. It's easy. It's not like it's Jacoby Brissett, dude. He's just a back quarterback.
And who did Jacoby Brissett play for?
Bill Belichick.
So Bill Belichick knows Jacoby Brissett way better than Kevin Stefanski will ever know Jacoby Brissett in the games that Brissett has to play for this team. There is no Brissett Express. We all knew he's already a backup. People are calling for the backup to play because we think this season's going somewhere, and I guess it still has that chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. I ain't going to be that dumb. Not that I think that they're, that if you see them turn things around, that, that there is always that possibility, but I'm not going to just sit here and only clamor on about how, well, the Ravens lost and they're 3-3. And even though the Bengals won their 3-3, you play those two teams in the next couple of weeks and you can dictate your future and you're 1-0 in the AFC North. Like all of these scenarios, like hoping for everyone else to help you out. If you aren't good enough, you don't deserve the help. And right now, everything is going wrong. The defense looked like maybe they made adjustments and the offense was going to have a bad day. No, everybody had a bad day. Special teams even had a bad day. I know Cade York made all of his kicks. Great. We love Cade York on this show and glad to see that he got a little bit of his confidence back, even in a absolute drubbing by the Patriots, 38-15 down at First Energy Stadium. However, when you have a muff punt, when you think that when you still have an opportunity to come back, you get the stop you need, and then you still don't have a guy that can catch punts. How in the world we don't have people that can catch punts or know how to handle kickoffs, punts, whatever it may be, is beyond me. Jay, I know you were probably at the game. You probably think more about this game.
I left the third quarter about 3 minutes ago. I was like, you know what? These dudes aren't, like I told you, I'm not going to let them rent space in my head and ruin my Sundays. I'm like, I'm going to beat the traffic. I'm going to get home. I'm going to eat me some good food at home. And I'm going to get ready to watch a team that actually cares, tries, and plays the game the right way. Like, we named it The Tale of Two Cities. I don't know what the hell that book's about or movie or whatever it is. I named it that because they're like complete opposites.
Yes.
These two teams playing right now are the complete opposites of one another. One, like I said, plays the game hard, plays it right, and has an amazing coach that knows how to get the best out of their players. Browns, complete opposite. Nothing like those guys.
Peter, anything?
You guys should really read the book.
I mean, I should read a lot of books.
It's like you said when you started, it starts out, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. It's basically about the French Revolution and the aristocrats and then all the peasants, the different worlds that they live in at the same time. And that's how I feel we are with the Guardians and the Browns right now. The Guardians are unbelievable. The Browns are also unbelievable, but in a completely different way. So I was just I was kind of beside myself. It was just a horrible display of football today. And I can think of a couple things. I like going online. I like watching those, like the smart football plays, like the super intelligent football plays where the guys make these great plays, and then you see that onside kick recovery he goes out of bounds. He didn't need to. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones hit the ball out of bounds. It's already going out of bounds. Got an illegal touch penalty on that. Just things that they just mental errors. And not great play.
It's bad all around.
It's bad. I mean, I'm not going to blame all the players because I think the play calling has been horrible.
Oh, you got to blame all the players. You got to blame all the players too. It's blaming everybody at this point. Someone's got to suffer the consequences at this point.
When it comes to blaming or not blaming players, it's a lot easier to name players that we don't really have to blame than we have to. The list is much longer on the blame.
Yeah,
game.
I mean, Schwartz. We talked about Schwartz earlier. Like, yeah, he's
not
fast,
a receiver.
Can he
not
catch?
A receiver.
He's not a receiver.
He's not a receiver.
No, track guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight track guy.
I mean, bell drop passes. I mean, DPJ when he was.
Njoku did a good game. Nick Chubb for the opportunities he got, I guess, was okay. The offensive line does pretty good all the time. Quarterback threw some terrible picks again. Defense just giving guys wide open. No one on the defense gets off the hook today. Sorry.
Well, some of those receivers, I mean, I could hit those receivers on the Patriots. They were so wide open. And I have no arm, but I don't even have a physical body. So
it's just it's all bad, and it's hard to even just continue talking about it. Like, I'm glad we're only doing a half hour. For those just tuning in, we are This is the voice of the land on the Big
Do
Play
you know what the
Network.
only good thing today was? I got to sit in the club seats thanks to Bob, the seats that Kevin we went to.
Yeah.
Bob Miller hooked me up and took me to the game with him. And I got the good food inside the club seats. That was the highlight. And I got that an hour before the game started. Once the game started, the fun ended real fast. They became the fun day, the Sunday fun suckers. Man, I really don't want to say that wrong.
Oh yeah. Don't even try to start saying that fast either, please. That's not that kind of show. This is not that kind of show. But Oscar Gonzalez and the Cleveland Guardians are that team, and they are riding high right now. And I know that after last night, once they got to the ballpark today, they were on to today. And that's the beauty of this team. Everything that the Browns are not, the Guardians are, and the Guardians deserve more of our attention. That's why I'm finishing the last 5 minutes of this segment and the next 15 minutes, because we're only on for 30 minutes today. So make sure you stay tuned right now. But hang on. We're going to get there. Hang on. Last night, an epic game. All we hear the whole game from Bob Costas and Ron Darling is, oh, the teams that hit more home runs, boy, they definitely win these games. You can't go back to the olden days and just hit the baseball and get guys on. Yes, you can.
You sound like Mr. Magoo, like that on, dude. Thank you for the laugh. That is a good joke.
I am an impressionist when I don't know who the heck I am impersonating.
Oh, if you watch Magoo, you would be able to.
I know who Mr. Magoo is, but like that, like it doesn't, to think about it, every impressionist tells you, especially when they're first starting out, this is Mr. Magoo at a Browns game, walking out with Browns fans. Like that, they set it up that way. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. Mr. Magoo was not the first character that popped into my head when I was doing that.
I was just an old man.
Yeah, I was doing like an old-timey baseball fan.
It worked.
Even though we were talking about or complaining about people talking about new age baseball. So the Guardians are playing baseball the way that they know how, and that's what they had to get back to. I think last night was key for this team, and hopefully it generate some momentum. Again, they're going to do their job tonight, guys. Like the job is tonight. That's what Tito, that's what this coaching staff, this organization has been all about. But last night, to see them string those hits together in the ninth inning and get key hits when they needed to with guys in scoring position, and then the 2-out hit as well. Oscar Gonzalez, what can you say? People are going to be singing SpongeBob, wearing SpongeBob, having SpongeBob tattoos if this guy continues. Don't want to put too much pressure on the kid because we've already seen this city kind of going too far too early. But it's just it's fun, and now it's fun and meaningful at the same time.
Oh, totally. And I told you last week, when I leave those games, I'm not going to be mad after Browns games. I'm going to concentrate on music. And I told you I left early. As you've seen videos, I wasn't the only one that left early today. You know what they were singing? No. Do you know what they were singing on the way back to the car? The SpongeBob song. There was this Jose.
Do you know the SpongeBob song?
No, I never watched SpongeBob. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm liking that song right now.
Well, at least we're not trying to actually sing it instead of.
Yeah, I'm not going to get on here and sing it. No one wants to be doing that.
You don't want to hear me sing that.
They barely want to hear me talk about sports. They definitely want to hear me sing SpongeBob.
Well,
but everyone's transitioning, man. If the Browns are going to lose a hold of this city, I believe. I really believe it. And it's going to become a baseball and a basketball town real fast. I said it last week. Don't be surprised. I mean, it's hard because Browns fans are diehard. Like, it is a football town, and that is just inbred in us. Like, but man, we like winning a lot more than losing.
Well, here I'm gonna throw this out there to our viewers and our listeners. If you want to support some good football, go support your high school football teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, high school football it's football at its purest form. Like, if you love the sport of football, that's what you're kind of getting. Even college football giving you a little bit more, even if Ohio State doesn't play. Yesterday, Tennessee beating Alabama. Like, those are great moments. But again, getting out in your local communities and supporting those programs, like, again, that's where the sport that you love is going to be focused on, even if it's not the high intensity and the biggest highlight plays all around, because you got the fastest, strongest athletes out there on the field all at the same time. Cream rises to the top. We all know that, but it's still, boy, I've been to so many games this year thinking, man, this game could be a blowout. This game could be a blowout. And there's been a lot of close games, a lot of great programs, a lot of great coaches in Northeast Ohio. So football wise, get out to your local programs, and heck, every other sport, get out to your local programs. But for right now, professionally, baseball and basketball is where it's at. Jay, you bring up a interesting point. I know that we've discussed before, may have discussed with Justin Cooper, one of our guests here in recent weeks, about will the Browns ever truly lose their hold over the city being a football town. If we have more time, we dive into it more, but I would like to dive into that and look ahead to tonight, because we are leading you up to first pitch tonight, Guardians and Yankees. I feel like we need to at least pay some bills with our sponsor, Vector Technical. So we'll get one commercial break in here and come back for our second and final break right here on the Voice of Land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
I know. Yeah, you're down there in the graphic and in our Zoom meeting for people that can't see. The way that Peter is in the Zoom meeting, he has his camera off, so it's just like a screensaver or a picture up of him smiling at us that no one else can see. And I know was creeping out Jay before we came on.
It's because it feels like you're just dead staring at me. Like he's not even moving, man.
My lifeless eyes.
the ultimate stare contest winner right there.
Seriously.
But we went to break kind of trying to have more fun because, again, we're not letting the Browns ruin our Sunday. They are as you said, the fun suckers, the Sunday. And the Guardians play tonight. And you brought up a point, which we'll get to in a second, about will the Browns ever lose their touch? And we'll post that poll throughout the week because I think that depending on how tonight goes, can this young team in the Guardians continue to exceed expectations? Can they continue to grow up right in front of our eyes? And of course, with this season, no matter how it goes, expectations are going to grow. The Cavs went through that last year. They exceeded expectations. They made a big move. They took a big swing. They got Donovan Mitchell. They start on Wednesday. They're a young team that now has higher expectations because of what they did last year and who they added this year. The Browns seem to we always have high expectations for them the last few years because they are so talented and are doing absolutely nothing with it. The Guardians are the team right in front of us in the present that are. And again, they are exactly what the Browns aren't. Jay, tonight on the hill against, a guy that the Guardians have trouble with, and I even have trouble remembering his name. Garrett Cole. That's who it is.
I can't stand him.
No, I don't think anybody can. Nobody can stand people that are wearing the pinstripes either.
He came from Astros and then went to pinstripes. I'm like, man, I really don't like you. And when I say that, it's total sports talk. Like, I don't know the dude personally. He might be a good dude.
Yeah.
He might cheat and use spider tech before. I don't know.
or he just joined a team that has a bunch of people that have punchable faces. I don't know.
Yeah.
Blank them Yankees.
They can't grow a beard. They can't grow beards. So I don't know.
They're allowed to grow mustaches though. Just like, oh
God, that dude, the pitcher's mustache was so terrible yesterday.
Have you seen Matt Carpenter's mustache?
No, I haven't.
Like one of of course, I think he used to play for the Cardinals and kind of found a home and just as like a utility player every now and again for the Yankees. He's got a terrible mustache as well. Whatever. It's all Yankee stuff, so it's gonna make me hate it.
If I was a pitcher and I had a mustache, it would be one of those ones where it like curls out and like twirls up and everything.
Oh, the handlebar mustache.
Oh, it'd be awesome. For sure. A big, huge handlebar mustache.
But
I'm taking this off the rails as usual.
It's all right. It's all right. We got 10 minutes left, so we can't go too far off the rails. Actually, we got 9 minutes until first pitch. So people that are behind are probably like, come on, gotta get the show done. I gotta turn on the game. Don't worry, we will finish just before the game comes on. This matchup tonight, though, Jay, I'm not going to ask for any predictions from any of you guys, but we saw this in game one.
I'll give you a prediction, Kevin. You'll like this one. You know what I'm going to predict? The predictable. The team's going to play their asses off. They're going to hustle nonstop. They're going to make contact, and they're never going to quit till the very last out. That's what I predict. And that's why I love this team.
And Peter, we saw this matchup in game one. Cole getting the better end of it. Quantrill not able to kind of get into that third round going through the lineup, which in playoff baseball you rarely see unless a guy is really, really going in the game. Do managers let a pitcher like that keep going in the game? And yes, you got to play. You've already had to play 3 straight days, including today. And you have to balance out your bullpen in that regard. You don't have those off days that you thought you were going to have to start. What is
no
the key?
yesterday? That's huge.
Yes, Clase getting a break yesterday after pitching over 30 pitches and 2+ innings on Friday is definitely huge. Peter, what is really the key for this matchup that we saw in game one having a different result in game 4?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm not even sure what the key. I mean, the key is just to keep doing what they're doing. The nice thing is the Guardians they're still the underdog. All the pressure is on New York. I heard something on the radio earlier that Cole's record when he's pitching in an elimination game is he's 1-3. He doesn't pitch well, apparently, under the pressure. I mean, that's the past. Who knows what's going to happen tonight? Maybe that'll affect them, but it sounds like, I think everything is lining up in the favor of the Guardians right now.
I mean, do you guys get the feeling like this offense is just so close to busting out? Like they keep doing it early, getting these guys on base, and they get a couple runs or a run, but they leave 2 or 3 guys on. If they can cash in on this, man, I would love to see an explosive offensive night, which they don't do often, but they can do it.
Yeah, they need to. If they get a guy on base, they've got to get him in.
I think they're on the verge of one of those bigger innings, and I think that the 9th inning could have been one of those if you didn't, get to the run threshold that you needed to end up winning the game, having the last at bats. And again, Oscar Gonzalez coming through for the 3rd time this postseason, tying a bunch of other players, but in one postseason alone, David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox with the most hits in a 9th inning or later to ultimately get your team to win the game. I think that 9th inning could have been that inning. And I think the biggest key is this team knowing that, hey, we're in the 2nd inning. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We got a couple guys on. We're making Cole work. The next guy up can't just go swinging for the fences. That was the problem in the first few games of this postseason. A lot of long swings, and not just by young players, but veteran players. All of them are young in terms of playoff experience because most of them haven't been in this kind of situation before. But it's
led to a lot of strikeouts. Uncharacteristics of them.
Uncharacteristic strikeouts for this team that didn't really strike out a lot. They were leading the league in fewest fewest strikeouts, swing rate, all these different metrics that they have. The key is this team kind of go to the next guy. Can you keep the train rolling in a rally like you did last night in the 9th inning to win? You had a bunch of guys get on, and you got those next key hits once outs were up on the board. That's what's going to need to happen tonight against Cole. You can't go swinging for the fences. You just proved that even as much as they said, well, in 3 of these first 6 innings, the Guardians have had 3 hits but only scored 1 run. The Yankees have, 3 of their 5 hits have left the yard, and they have the 5-3 lead. Thinking that home runs were going to ultimately be the team with the most home runs were going to win the game. It didn't. You still showed that this brand of baseball still matters. You need to continue that. And maybe a little bit of that pressure has come off. Not to say it's pressure, but just anxiety, that nervousness from these young guys come off their shoulders and see, hey, we're back to who we are. Let's go best on best, and let's see what we got tonight, and let's try to close this thing out. Now, whether they close it out or not, I think, Jay, you also brought up a good point. And with only a couple minutes left, I don't know that we'll get a full answer here because we're also going to post a poll throughout the week, and we are going to probably talk about this next week as well. It's a conversation that's kind of come up, but it's becoming more and more relevant. The question, how we'll ask it tonight is, do you think the Browns will ever lose their hold from this city? Because anytime once the Browns start playing, you see those stadiums full for the Guardians are finishing and the Cavs might be starting. Like, all the focus is still on the Browns as the Cavs get started and they start winning some games. In past years, the Browns are still the focus every single week. Like, that's the breakdown, getting into the next Sunday, getting into the next game, wherever it might be. Will they ever lose their hold in a football town? It seems improbable.
They continue this path and they don't turn this around at all. And then next year they continue to do this. Yeah, they will. I already see people tell me that they're going to be doing more chores on Sundays and getting stuff done around the house. My one buddy's like, dude, I stopped watching in like the 3rd quarter. I went swimming. I'm telling you, it was people by droves leaving in the 3rd quarter today, like 3rd quarter. And being a season ticket holder, I'm going to tell you, when they have bad seasons and it's the end of the season and there ain't a whole lot of warm games left, those seats don't fill up like they used to.
No, they don't. No.
And a lot of these kids that grew up around this town, they grew up watching LeBron James, and this became a very big basketball town. And when you get a guy as exciting as Donovan Mitchell and you add him to a young core like this, who's just looks like they're ready to make a run for years and years and years, and they keep winning or win one even. And this Guardians team, they're built to continue to win for years and years. And the Browns just continue to do what the Browns do. Yeah, they're going to lose that grasp. It's inevitable. You can't hold on to that. No one's, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, where you're just like,
ineptitude?
You're not mad at them. You're not happy with them.
Apathetic.
When apathy sets in, that's when they're doomed.
Apathy is already started to set in for me this year.
I see them people. I already see them people.
And I think
it's kicking in me. Like I said, I ain't gonna let them bother me. I'll enjoy the wins, but I ain't gonna get down on these losses anymore.
I think the apathy is easier to set in this year too, because after the offseason and the full, just completely questioning fandom for a lot of people for reasons outside of football, but still necessary reasons and understandable reasons nonetheless. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's improbable that the Browns lose this town, because we will always be a football town. And as soon as the Browns, turn around right next year, like, it'll all come back very, very quickly. But I don't think it's impossible for another team to take it. I don't think that that's the Guardians, just because it's still baseball, and there's a lot to get even the average fan back to watching baseball all year round. I'm one of the weird ones. I will do it all year round if I have accessibility to it.
See, The Browns were lucky when the Indians were on their run in the 90s and they were gone. Everyone's like, oh, as soon as they're gone. And when they came back, everyone loved it. Like right around 99, the Indians then weren't as good as those 90s teams. They started falling off. We started losing the Mannies, the Omars of the team, and those guys that we were beloved. And then the Browns came back. And obviously, right when you come back, we're going to go there because we haven't had football in this town forever. But, man, they just keep losing. I don't know. They have been. I mean, they're terrible since '99. So I don't know if they ever will stop going there, man. I'm considering like switching my season tickets to Cavs. I was thinking about it on the way back to the walk today, and I'm like, it just would be so much more fun if I could have even not a full season, just a half season of going to Cavs games and being able to take you guys down there with me whenever you know what I'm saying, rather than I look forward to going to the Browns games before like tailgating and stuff. And then I know it's like when I go there, it's like, man, are they just going to try to like, again, suck the fun out of my Sundays again?
And this is a conversation I think, again, best suited if we have more time for it and something we'll post throughout the week. It's easier right now to put your energy elsewhere. And if that's into chores or if that's into another team like the Guardians, do that tonight. In just about a minute. We told you we'd take you up the first pitch. We are doing that here tonight. And as our friend and thankful to Dave at Big Play, who brought us on to Big Play, he posted on his Twitter at BigPlay_Dave. He posted the picture from the fight last night in the stands at Progressive Field and had the guy that had punched the Yankees fan. He's wearing a Guardians hat and put a Browns helmet over the guy that got knocked down to the ground and said, "You will not ruin my day or my vibe. Thank you. Goodbye." And with that, you Browns will not ruin our vibe. We have a good vibe going into this game. And that's going to wrap it up. But make sure you guys tune to our social media. We'll have the poll for this deeper conversation. And we'll be back next week with a full show, depending on where the Guardians are at that point. And I know the Cavs start their season next week, but we will be back with a full show as best as we can to be the Browns post-game show and break down Browns at Ravens next Sunday after they lose their third straight today, 38-17. But it's 7:07. It's first pitch time. It's game 4. It is at Progressive Field. So 4 always positive.
Let's get to a team that doesn't talk about it. They are about it.
Absolutely. So 4 always positive, Jay, with that great drop in. And our producer extraordinaire audio, or also known in humanoid form as Peter Telt. I'm Kevin. I'm reminding all of you, don't let anyone ever tell you, especially tonight, that it's just a game. We love you all 3,000. And live life, all gas, no brakes. As our late friend Mike Allen always used to say, we'll see you next week right here on the Big Play Network.